This is the greatest passenger plane ever built. For a moment, this plane made flying magical again, yet it is considered a failure. It wasn't unsafe, it wasn't outdated, it was simply too good. Passengers loved it, pilots respected it, airports redesigned themselves around it, and yet airlines are getting rid of it. Not because it failed, but because it succeeded in a world that no longer exists. This is the story of how the Airbus A380 became too good for its own industry. To understand the A380, we have to go back to the 1990s. Air travel was exploding, globalization was accelerating, major airports like Heathrow, JFK and Narita were running out of runway slots. There were more passengers every year, but no space to add more flights. Airbus believed the future of aviation wasn't flying more planes, it was flying bigger planes. If one aircraft could carry twice the passengers, airlines could move more people without adding congestion. On paper, it made perfect sense. That idea became the Airbus A380. From the start, it was ambitious to the point of insanity. Airbus wasn't just building a large aircraft. They were building something that had never existed before, a full-length double-deck jet, the largest passenger plane in history, an aircraft so big that entire airports would need to change just to accommodate it. The engineering challenges were massive. New materials had to be developed. Wiring systems were so complex they caused production delays. The wings were designed to flex several meters during flight without failing. Despite its size, engineers managed to make it quieter than many smaller aircraft. The A380 could land slower than a Boeing 747. It was smoother, more stable, more comfortable. From a technical standpoint, it was a masterpiece. And when it entered service, airlines went all in. If you are going to fly the biggest plane in the world, you might as well make it unforgettable. Emirates added on-board showers for first-class passengers. Singapore Airlines introduced private suites with full beds. Upper decks became lounges and bars. For passengers, flying the A380 didn't feel like transport, it felt like an experience. People chose flights specifically because it was an A380. Aviation fans hunted for it. Even nervous flyers felt safer on it. For a brief moment, the golden age of air travel felt like it was back. But here's the problem. Airlines don't sell aircraft, they sell seats, and the A380 had a lot of seats to fill. Missed the target by just 10 or 15% and the economics collapsed. 4 engines meant higher fuel burn, maintenance costs were brutal, turnaround times were longer, and airport fees were higher. The A380 only made sense when it was full, and while airlines were trying to fill these massive jets, the world was changing. Passengers no longer wanted mega hubs and connections, they wanted direct flights. Point-to-point travel began to dominate. Aircraft like the Boeing 787 and Airbus A380 quietly rewrote the rules. They could fly nearly the same distance with 2 engines, lower fuel burn, and far fewer passengers. They didn't need special gates, they didn't need reinforced runways, they didn't need redesigned airports. They were flexible, and flexibility is everything in aviation. Meanwhile, the A380 was anything but flexible. The COVID-19 pandemic didn't help things. A380s were grounded so hard that some haven't returned to service even now. The A380 could not find a second life in cargo like the 747 due to its cockpit design. Plans for a cargo version were scrapped early during the design process. Airlines from the US never ordered the A380. Perhaps they had seen something the rest of the world didn't. Most A380s built still fly today, mostly with Emirates, and every time one takes off, it feels like watching a giant from another era refuse to disappear. The Airbus A380 represents the last moment when aviation chased experience over efficiency. Modern aircraft are smarter, cheaper, more practical, but none of them feel like the A380. It wasn't a bad plane, it wasn't a mistake. It was a masterpiece built for a world that no longer exists. Too big, too ambitious, too late. So here's the real question. Was the Airbus A380 a failure, or was it simply too good for airlines to handle? Let me know what you think in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it and subscribe to KT Aviation for more aviation stories. Thank you.